We'll have to wait a bit longer to hear about new Autopilot features. An assembly manufacturer is ready for the task at hand, and the government giveth and the government taketh away. Here are your Tesla tidbits for September 1st, 2016. Today was a rough day for Elon Musk. A SpaceX Falcon 9 and its payload were lost during a test fire explosion in preparation for the launch of a Facebook satellite. With Elon heavily involved in SpaceX, it's quite understandable that we got this tweet regarding the Autopilot and version 8 software update. Quote, "Finishing Autopilot blog postponed to end of weekend," end quote. I'd say there will be a lot on Elon's mind in the coming days, so this is no surprise, and again, totally understandable. Good luck and Godspeed to the folks at SpaceX. In order to get the show on the road for Model 3, suppliers have to be ready to go. Electrek reports that Fanuc, the supplier of the robots that will help build Model 3, has said that it's willing to do everything in its power to bring the line up on time. Rob Kufal, director of sales at Fanuc America, said, quote, "My team and I will work as hard as we can to support an on-time Model 3 startup. It's tight timing, but it's attainable with a lot of work between now and then," end quote. As has been reported already, stamping and paint centers are already online for Model 3, and Tesla looks to bring up body and general assembly centers before year's end, which is likely where Fanuc's robots will come into play. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that Tesla has lost a crucial legal battle in Missouri. January last year, the Missouri Auto Dealers Association sued the Missouri Revenue Department and its director after Tesla was permitted to open stores in University City in 2013 and Kansas City in 2014, saying that the direct sales model violates state law. The Revenue Department disagreed, saying that the licenses issued to Tesla complied with the law. Tesla's franchise agreement states that, quote, "Tesla Motors authorizes Tesla Motors," end quote, to sell Tesla vehicles. Yesterday, however, the court did not agree and ruled in favor of the Dealers Association. In the ruling, Judge Daniel Green wrote, quote, "A single entity may not manufacture vehicles for sale in Missouri and possess a Missouri new motor vehicle dealer license," end quote. The judge continued further, saying, quote, "Subject to limited exceptions that are not applicable in this case, a franchisor is prohibited from owning or operating a new motor vehicle dealership in Missouri," end quote. The ruling doesn't revoke Tesla's existing license, but does prevent it from renewing it. Teslarati has an additional quote from Tesla Vice President of Corporate and Business Development, Darmid O'Connell, saying that the suit only sought to limit consumer choice in Missouri. He countered the judge, saying, quote, "Missouri law is very straightforward in that it prohibits manufacturers that use independent franchisees from competing directly against them. This has nothing to do with Tesla, which has never used independent franchisees," end quote. Tesla spokesman Will Nicholas then said Tesla will appeal, saying, quote, "Tesla will take all appropriate steps in the courts to ensure that Missouri consumers continue to have the right to choose how they purchase their vehicles," end quote. We do end the show with some good news for some prospective California Tesla owners. Previously, I reported on the stalemate in California government that had been punishing some California EV purchasers by not funding the state's EV rebate program that was still in effect in the state. The LA Times reports that lawmakers have funded the program once again in a last-minute effort before the legislative year ended. Governor Brown was happy to finally have the program funded, saying, quote, "California is combating climate change on all fronts, and this plan gets us the most bang for the buck. It directs hundreds of millions where it's needed most to help disadvantaged communities, curb dangerous superpollutants, and cut petroleum use, while saving some for the future," end quote. Congrats to our friends in California that this affected. Now go pick up your Model S or Model X. You can find links to the full stories from today's show in the show description. If you get some value out of the show, please consider supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks as usual to my super patron, John Waltauer, for his support. If you have something to buy from Amazon, please consider using the Amazon link in the show description to access the site. It'll cost you nothing extra, and they'll kick a little something to the show for your trouble. Finally, you can support the show for free through positive feedback on the major media services where you find the show, and by simply spreading word of the show to other Tesla lovers. If you have questions or feedback for me, you can reach me via email by messaging podcast@teslatidbits.com or on Twitter @TeslaTidbits. That's it for today. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.